So this is still the Citi Newsroom, and we have heard from the minority in Parliament on what they make of the Finance Minister's presentation today. So I'll be speaking to someone who is part of this government. He's actually a spokesperson on finance for this government, and we'll find out from him what he also makes of it and put across to him some of the questions that minority have been raising. Thanks so much for joining us on the Citi Newsroom.
Nope.
All right. So he outlined a number of reliefs that is going to be within the short term, within the next 6 months, within the next. All right. Now, we know that the economy has been hard hit. And someone will ask that when we have been hard hit like that, and government has already said that it has spent so much with water bill, with electricity bill, and all, why then do you extend it further? Is that not going to cripple the economy and cause more shocks?
No, actually not. It is not going to cripple the economy. There is this saying, and I've said both in English and Twi, that if you have life, you have everything. So what the government is pretty much trying to do is that we are still in the middle of the pandemic. Nobody knows where it's going to go. We started with 2 people. Today, as I speak to you, it's in the 29,000s. We are still in the middle of a crisis. People are suffering. All the restrictions have not been lifted. And don't forget, government expenditure in economics, in national income terms, stimulates demand. Government spending, people get opportunities, get income from government's expenditure, and create more income by demanding goods and services. So when the private sector or people are hurt and they are not spending, you definitely need government intervention to spend so that money can come in. As money begins to circulate more and more, you are creating a lot more of economic activities, which will lead to increase in your GDP.
So the Finance Minister has presented his mid-year budget review to Parliament, and we are still taking reactions from members of Parliament. And I have been joined by the Member of Parliament for K2 South, in the person of Honorable Fifi Kwete, to actually tell us what he makes of the Minister's review or budget review today. Thank you so much for joining us on the Citi Newsroom.
Hi, good afternoon, and my greetings to all your many viewers as well.
All right, so now the minister has presented his budget, has given a lot of reliefs as well, which I believe most people will appreciate because of the pandemic and how we have been hit. Now, the minority seems to disagree with the 100 billion, the CARES program, saying that it's a manifesto promise. If you could expand on that and why you think that announcement shouldn't have been made today.
Because you see, you can only speak to things that you have budgeted for this year. What he's talking about has to do with a program that's supposed to be beginning sometime in 2021. And he has no control over 2021. Their term ends 6th January 2021. And he hasn't got any control over what happens beyond that. So to actually come, this is not what you call some long-term development plan. When you're presenting a budget, you present exactly what you have to do until your term is over. You can't come and presenting a budget and be talking about a year that you don't have a control over. That amounts to what you call deliberate deception of the people.
Told us what his plans are up to December. CST reduced from 9% to 5%. Electricity, water, we've already had 3 months, some pay cuts, some for free. And he has given a lot more. Does that make you, does that convince you now?
You know, you should look at this in a much broader context than that. Otherwise, we reduce this into some kind of populist gimmick intending to deceive the population simply because election is around the corner and you think that by so doing, somehow people can vote for you. We are talking about a government that over a period of 3.5 years has had available to it a resource envelope of more than 300 billion cedis. 300 billion cedis in a period of 3.5 years. And that whole 3.5 year period, you cannot, for example, point to one major development that you have been able to do. You can't point to one. What he was mentioning today had to do with projects that actually were given to them by this government, by our government.